Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson is an ordained Centers for Spiritual Living minister serving the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore community as our spiritual director. He has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man and visionary New Thought leader. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self development, personal transformation, transmutation, and transfiguration, he lives his bliss as a teacher, minister, author, visual artist, ASL performing artist, mentor, father, grandfather, and more by giving people applicable tools and practices that enable them to live a more fulfilled life, recognizing, realizing, and materializing their full divine potential. His mission is to live, move, and be an active member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, and emancipate people and communities to awaken and empower themselves. ACTIVE is an acronym that stands for authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered. I give you Reverend Dr. Ray.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a wonderful day. Hey, how's it going? What's up? What's new? How wonderful it is to be able to join in this thing called Sunday service and be connected with one another. No matter where in the world we are, we have the opportunity to be connected. And how wonderful is that? I mean, Frank started us off this morning talking about how wonderful the cheese on our croissant is, right? Like how wonderful it is that we can flick a light switch, and how wonderful, like, oh, wow, just breathe. Because we're going to dive into this whole idea of wonderment. Angela Morgan says, oh, to be alive in such an age when miracles are everywhere and every inch of common air throbs a tremendous prophecy of greater marvels yet to be. So today, jumping in this whole vibe of there are miracles everywhere, wonderment is everywhere, the awesomeness of life is around us, moving through us and showing up as us. So, question is, do you walk around daily with your mouth wide open in absolute awe at the infinite number of wonders around you? No, yeah, like, do you do that? What about you? Do you do that? Do you do that? Do you walk around like with your mouth wide open because of how awesome it is to partake of the sights, the sounds, the feelings, the sensations of life? If your answer is no, and some of us, if we're honest, if your answer is no, it's not too late to start. Beauty is everywhere, and well, the wonders never cease. Wonder is everywhere present, just waiting for each of us to awaken to it. It's in the car we drive, the home we live in, the neighbor's dog, the traffic light, and the people that we meet. We encounter wonders every minute of every day. We live in a wonderland. So whether your name is Alice or not, you live in a wonderland that invites us to marvel at and experience its magnificence and its love. So recognize that it really doesn't matter if you're witnessing it now and you're like, wow. Or if you pause for a moment and close your eyes and reflect upon, oh my, Like, it really doesn't matter, because what you think or imagine has a significant effect on your life. The way your brain works, you can reflect on a memory, you can imagine something, and your brain affects your body in much the same way as if you were going through it right here and right now. So pause and think about something that was wonderful to experience, something you identified as miraculous or something that left you amazed. So even if you don't recognize it right now in your immediate surroundings, bring it to your mind. Ernest Holmes says, when a person stands in awe of grandeur, something deep within that person responds. Something within them embraces the ocean. Something within them melts into the mountain, and they become one with them. When we recognize wonder, the miraculous, the beautiful, there is no separation between us and it. It becomes part of us, we become part of it, and we move into this experience of divine oneness. But if we're going to talk about this thing called wonder, do we know what wonder is? What wonderment is? What it means to be in awe, to be surprised by life? Well, sometimes it's easier to recognize what it is by recognizing what it's not. So when we have an expectation, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're waiting for the bad news. It's been 7 days of good news. I know sooner or later that bad thing is right around the corner, my expectation. When we are so caught up in the same old, that there's no excitement. It's just the usual business as usual, the same. Yeah, it's that. It's the broken. It's the broken. It's the broken. It's the broken record of life that just keeps us going over and over and over. There's no excitement. Remember the old Dunkin' Donuts commercial? The dude would wake up and I gotta make the donuts. There's no vitality. There's no excitement. There's no wonder, because we ground and we anchor in this idea of, it's life. It's boring. Yeah, let's shed that idea today, because the moment we really recognize that that's where we are, that that's the song we're playing, that that's the foundation we are built on or moving our life upon, then ultimately what we're saying is God is boring, spirit is boring, the universe itself is boring. There is no excitement in creation. Is that really what we want to say? Is that how we want to live? I say no. So once again, recognizing now is an amazing age to recognize that miracles are everywhere, and every inch of the air itself reminds us of greater marvels yet to be. Everywhere around creation, everywhere on the face of this planet, stars beyond where we may never see those stars, there is beauty and amazement. Doesn't matter if it's the Taj Mahal, doesn't matter if it's the Grand Canyon, it really doesn't matter. There is beauty everywhere. And yet, how many of us can think of, the stereotypical teenager that goes to see, the pyramids in Mexico, and they're like, oh, this is so boring. And what do? They get their phone and they go through playing some video game on some app, because somehow that is more exciting than the content of life itself in front of them. What about us? Do we do that? Are we somehow that same stereotypical teenager who finds the content of our lives to be boring. There's no excitement in my life. There's no excitement. I just get up, I go to work, I do the same old stuff every day. Well, then the encouragement, the practice is to reinvigorate your life, to bring yourself back to the consciousness of there are many things to be excited about, right? Don't be like these people. Don't be the person on, the roller coaster telling other people to hush. Don't be the mad person sitting at the front of the roller coaster, the excitement of just sitting there pouting. Don't be the person on whatever that is, the log jammer thing getting wet, and you're like, there's so many other things I would rather be doing. This is just so not. Like, how many times do we do that when it comes to love? Shh, love, leave me alone. I'd rather be by myself. I don't want to have fun. I'm going to go to the party, but I'm not going to have fun. Wait, say what? Say what now? Okay, fine. I'll play Scrabble with you, but I'm not going to enjoy it. Okay, fine. I'll look at the cat video, but I'm not going to laugh. Like, how many of us refuse to really step in, not just a toe into the excitement of life, but to dive in to life fully, taking it all in? There was an article posted on USA Today where it said awe makes us happier, healthier, and humbler, which we'll get to. And it says, the little caption under that video says, magic, Australians awed by lightning flashing behind a double rainbow. Now, some people would say, it's just a rainbow. Oh, fine, it's a double rainbow. Ooh. And it's lightning. I mean, come on, that's nature. That's what nature does. There's no reason to be like, oh. But why not? Why not? If you are able to find amazement and awe and wonder in a rainbow, then why not do it? Regardless of the person who's like, why are you enjoying that? Like, that makes no sense. It's just a rainbow. No, it's not just a rainbow. It's an opportunity for me to enjoy the beauty that nature is painting on the sky in front of me. The article goes on to say, daily experiences of awe, the scientists argue, should be a regular part of the way we engage the world. A regular part of how we engage the world. Why? Because a lot of recent research is showing that even those more everyday experiences of awe, just briefly noticing the beauty of nature in our neighborhood or in our own backyard, those can have a positive effect, a life-affirming effect on our well-being. Now, what kind of life-affirming effect? Emotional, social, psychological health benefits. See, now check this out. Seeing a rainbow can have emotional, social, psychological health benefits. It contributes to greater satisfaction in life. How many of us wouldn't want another happy helping of greater satisfaction in life? It expands our perception of time. We focus less on materialism, and awe can also help at-risk populations, such as young folks, veterans, and people who are experiencing PTSD, depression, etc. Why would we not want this thing of awe and wonder? It offers us greater opportunities to truly live, not just exist, but to live and thrive in our lives. Ernest Holmes says, even the common things of life assume a natural goodness, beauty, and dignity when viewed as a whole. So when we see that these common things, the croissant, the car, the light bulb, the socks we put on, all of these common things, when we see it in a wholeness, a holistic point of reference, then we feel we are connected to, we experience greater levels of this idea of goodness and beauty, dignity, wonderment. Because we don't just see it as, oh, it's just a pair of socks. Oh, it's just an ink pen. But we see that this ink pen took thousands of people, machinery, creators, trucks, etc., to make it possible for me to hold it in my hand and to use it. When I see the totality of, when I see it from a holistic point of view, a whole point of view, a holy point of view. Even children. How many of us have grandchildren, nephews, nieces? How many of us were the kid that got the box, got the thing packaged, the gift on Christmas, and we took the whatever that was out and played with the box? We wouldn't think about the ball, the whatever the thing was in the box. We had more enjoyment with the box itself. Why? Because the box itself gave us the opportunity to pretend in a different way. The box became a plane in one moment, and the next moment, a boat, and in the next moment, a starship soaring through galaxies, a time machine, a cave to go exploring for treasure. The ball is a ball. Yeah, I feel like flying to another planet, in another galaxy, in another time. Why do we as adults lose the gift of imagination and play, wonder and awe? For us, a box is just a box. A pen is just a pen. Socks are just socks, and that is just that. It's just cheese. But what would happen if we paused for a moment and stepped back and took it all in as a holy event? Dr. Tom Sanders says, we must have a sense of humility and awe and wonder before the magnificence of spirit. A sense of humility and awe. So, humility. C.S. Lewis says, humility is not thinking less of yourself, it's thinking of yourself less. Pause and breathe that in. It's not thinking less of yourself, because often in our consciousness, we think being humble is don't be proud, don't be arrogant, don't be, assertive, but that's not what humility is. Humility is thinking of yourself less. Now, this self that we're talking about is that bloated nothingness that Ralph Waldo Emerson spoke of when he said, let us take our bloated nothingness out of the path of the divine circuits. In other words, when you see yourself as small, insignificant, irrelevant, rather than seeing yourself as divine, as the very incarnation of spirit itself, that bloated nothingness is blocking you from manifesting to the degree that you could, experiencing life to the degree that you could, because that paradigm of, well, I'm just if I were, I'll never be able to. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not something enough. I'm not wise enough. That's bloated nothingness. It's a paradigm of lack, a paradigm of blah, 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 rather than letting the self think of your lowercase s self less, and recognize that the capital S self, your true self, is the all that is, living, moving, and having its beingness as you. And allow yourself to be in alignment with that. Live, move, and have your beingness from that paradigm, from that consciousness, in wonder and awe. Valerie says, if you remember how to wonder, then you already have what you need to learn how to love. So what is Valerie Kaur talking about when she says, if you remember how to wonder, how to be in wonder, wonderment, then you already have what you need to learn how to love. So if I remember how to be in awe, then love is naturally there. If I remember how to be in wonder, then I'm already anchored, grounded in love. So the most magical place on the world is where you are. Right where you are on earth. You don't need to be in Disney to be in the most magical place in the world. Right where you are. Learn to see the magic and wonder in your own life, and love will automatically flow because you have allowed the divine circuits of the universe to open and move freely. But you must do the practice of, don't just let it be a sporadic thing. Anchor and ground and commit to seeing the divine, seeing with wonder and awe, periodically more often through your day. Because when you do, once again, Valerie Kaur says, you are a part of me I don't know yet. And when we are able to namaste, to be in wonder and awe, we recognize that it doesn't matter what we look at. Nature, you are a part of me that I don't know yet. And I stand in wonder and awe to get to know you. Animals and creatures of the planet, of nature, you are a part of me that I don't know yet. And I am willing to avail myself to get to know you. People of the planet, Earth, humanity, you are a part of me that I don't know yet. And I am open and willing to avail myself to know you, to be in awe and wonder of you, to love you. Me, myself, the reflection that I see, the me that I am getting to know, there are parts of me that I don't know yet, and I am willing to do the work to get to know me better, to allow the divine circuits of spirit itself, love itself, to flow in overflow. I am willing. All of creation, the earth itself, there are parts of you that I do not know yet, and yet I am willing to avail myself to be in awe and wonder of you, to get to know you, and to allow love to flow. Reverend Dr. Ray says, when I pause to think about the complexity of my own body and what it does without needing my conscious input, I cannot help but to be in awe. The wondrous awe then spills over into every other area of my life because I can appreciate the complexity of you and your life and your body. So pause. When I can recognize the complexity of my own life, simply making a fist or simply moving my mouth, the number of muscles that go into that, from the moment I have a thought to the electrical impulses that move from my brain through my nervous system to the very fibers in the muscles that make the muscles fire to make the mouth move so that the mouth, the vocal cords, the tongue the lungs, moving air, are all moving in divine, synchronistic, orchestrated union so that words are formed, so that I can communicate. When I understand the complexity of that and I am in awe of it, then when you speak, when you sign, when you communicate, I am able to also recognize the complexity that you are expressing, demonstrating, and I am in awe of it. He goes on to say, like he ate me. The complexity and wonder that goes into music, art, lunch, shopping, driving, laughter, and so much more. See, it doesn't matter what the complexity is. How often have you climbed on a bike or got in a car or on a bus or an airplane or whatever it is and really thought about the number of bolts and screws that are holding it together, the number of people who constructed it so that it could do whatever it does, the number of gears and moving parts that make it operational. When was the last time you really sat down and thought about how many circuits are in my computer that make it possible for me to log in to YouTube or Facebook to join in service? How many parts are moving for this to occur? Because when we recognize that, when we see the complexity from a holistic point of view, we can't help but to be in awe. And then joyous laughter rises because it's just so amazing and beautiful. We laugh. How often have you really thought about how complex laughter is? Just laughing. just laughing. Like how many I can hear Tracy upstairs laughing. How many things go into just the process of laughing? Well, thank you for asking. Laughter consists of two parts. The brain that pressures us to conduct both of these activities simultaneously, which are the gestures and the production of sound. When we laugh heartily, changes occur in many parts of the body, including the arms, the leg, the trunk, the muscles. There are 15 facial muscles that contract and stimulation of, like, there's all of this stuff that goes into this. Laughter, the complexity. But when we are able to be in appreciation of it, then we see the divine in it. We are in awe of it. We are anchored and grounded. And then we are truly living more fully, appreciating the fullness of life. So this week's practice, should you opt to engage, journal about, think about, contemplate about what stirs the feeling of wonder or awe in you. What makes you feel, wow, oh my, what? Oh, that was so delicious. Oh, that is so beautiful. What stirs that within you? And then read the article, which means you have to reach out to Tracy or I to get the link, unless you're do a screen capture or something. But get this link, read this article, and then commit to laughing more this week. And if you need to, practice laughter yoga at least 3 times this week. You know, it's said that children laugh thousands of times a day, and the average adult barely cracks the 3-digit number. Most adults laugh maybe 25, 35, 50 times. Children are like 4,912. Like, kids laugh about everything. you got a piece of bread. Why are you laughing? Because I'm getting bread. Because it's funny. Kids laugh about anything and everything, which is probably why Tracy says I'm a big kid, because hey, I heard you say yep, because I laugh about everything often. But practice laughing this week. Commit to laughing more this week. Then look at something ordinary in your environment and consider what all went into it being where it is now for you to use it and be able to appreciate it. Whatever it is, if it's that ink pen, think about everything and everyone that contributed. Think about the sheer numbers of how many people did it take to design this, to create it, to invent it, to mold it, to create the factory part, to create the factory that creates the parts. How many people, like, think about all of how many trucks did it take to drive it from where it was made in the factory to the store where how many people made the store? Think about the complexity of it all in your ordinary environment. The carpet, the tiles, the door, the light bulb. Just contemplate that. And then lastly, have a conversation with 4 people about something that you find beautiful and share with one another what makes it beautiful to you. What does its beauty cause you to feel when you think about it and or experience it? So whatever that beautiful thing is, and it could be a beautiful thing that you eat, meaning delicious. It could be a beautiful thing that you hear, such as Safi's music. It could be a beautiful person that you see, such as Safi. It could be a beautiful, like, it could be anything that's beautiful. What does it cause you to feel as you experience, think about it, etc.? And today's declaration affirmation, I will say it first. And if you feel in alignment with it, then on the second go round, say it with me. Are you ready? I see awe-inspiring beauty everywhere I look. Together, I see awe-inspiring beauty everywhere I look. Now let us simply anchor and ground in the awareness of knowing that each one of us is an amazing demonstration of that which is awe itself. The divine, spirit, God, the universe itself, life itself, individualizing itself in, through, and as me and as all who are gathered. How wondrous and amazing it is to recognize the simple, glorious beauty of life living itself as us, breathing itself as us, speaking through, in, and as each and every one of us, creating, demonstrating, and manifesting that which is ours to be, do, and have in this amazing experience that is our life. Amazing, amazing grace. How awesome it is to live and move and be who and what we are. Amazing grace. How sweet it is. And so I surrender this into the law, knowing the law says, yes, you are amazing. Yes, you are awesome. Yes, you are beautiful. Yes. And knowing that the law says yes to this treatment, to this service, to every song, every prayer, every meditation, every comment that has been shared, knowing the universe says, yes, I allow this to be what it is. Oh, so good as answered prayer. It is the very word of God made flesh. And knowing that that is what it is, infinite goodness demonstrating, I let it be. And so it is. Namaste, blessings, love you all, and see you on Zoom.